What is going on, everybody? Welcome into We Talk Ball. I am your host, Chris. That is Austin. And this is where we break down the biggest game, biggest stories, biggest takes from across the college football world. If you love real football talk, make sure you subscribe to College Sports Crew on YouTube and lock in with us. All right, let's get into it because we are talking ball. What's up, Austin?
What's up, man?
You like that, didn't you?
That was a nice little intro there.
Yeah, I hope I can remember it every time. How's you keep wearing the Falcon shirt every show here lately? Is that by accident or on purpose? Is there something you're
So
trying to tell us?
no, no. You want me to be honest with you?
Yes,
I have
always.
I have a friend who works for Mercedes-Benz, and when she came for Christmas, she brought me a bunch of free Falcon stuff, and I don't know, new stuff. Don't have to do laundry if I wear this.
Yeah, I mean, red and black looks good on you. I'm just saying.
I hear you.
Did you know that I did not know this before we get into everything? We can get off the rails a little bit. Did you know the gold stripe on their helmet means the little bitty gold stripe is for Georgia Tech?
Really?
Look that up. It's when we get off, obviously, but yeah, it represents Georgia Tech.
Huh?
Yeah, I'll send you something after
Interesting.
that. Man, do we have a lot to talk about? We got a lot to talk about.
I don't want to talk about nothing right now.
Yeah, we're fixing to get into that. We're fixing to get into that. Letting
Let's
people
do
get
it.
in. Huh?
I said let's get this over with.
Texas, man, massive, massive, massive additions today. Texas got Cam Coleman committed to the Longhorns. Not only that, they've got a flip from Hollywood, Texas, Alabama guy that committed to Alabama. He came from North Carolina State, went on a visit to Texas and flipped. Massive day for Texas, man. We talked about in a lot here on this show, Austin, about the improvement of Arch Manning this season and how well he did at the end of the season. We also talked about how a lot of the problems for Texas was not on Arch. One of the biggest problems were wide receiver play, in my opinion, among other things. And to me, man, this is a massive addition for Texas and Arch next year.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's huge. I mean, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
Honestly, I you don't want to say one player is, but I mean, it almost feels that way right now. Um, man, I know we're supposed to be talking about Texas, but
Oh, I
I
mean,
just
say
can't.
it.
I can't help but think what's going on in Alabama right now, man.
I had a couple of those questions in the TikTok live 30 minutes before our show.
It
And
just feels. I don't know. I can't blame Cam Coleman. I mean, he did. You know, it was reported he spent 2 days in Tuscaloosa, so there was a lot of Bama fans. Let's be honest, but a lot of Bama fans that had high hopes uh, that him spending that long in Tuscaloosa, that it might be a done deal. But I don't know from what I read, Texas came in with the last minute NIL bump, and that was what sealed the deal. I don't know the truth behind that, but
no,
wouldn't
it
surprise
probably
me.
is. It probably is because I think Texas is trying to go all in this year.
Listen,
They're going all in, and yeah.
if you're deciding to go to a Texas and an Alabama, I can't blame a kid for taking the money. If I'm trying to decide if I'm going to go to Alabama or, no disrespect, but Boise State, but I can make more money at Boise State, I still think you're better off to take a little less and go to, a bigger school for the spotlight. But so I mean, I can't be mad at him, but sounds like he made really good friends with Hollywood Smothers while he was in Tuscaloosa and took him with him though.
That's another great addition. That's another great addition. That also Raleek Brown, I think is his name, from Arizona State, also transferred over.
I
So they got
know
good running backs, in my
that
opinion.
that may be the Penn State backfield of next
Yeah,
year.
that may be the duo in the SEC. Um, we don't use this often, so I wanted to transition this conversation to the one thing that we on this show at We Talk Ball, powered by College Sports Crew. the one thing we always talk about, we pride ourselves on is never doing the natty or bust, natty or bust, natty or bust. We really pride ourselves on that, but we also acknowledge there is some rare exceptions to the rules, and we did that last year with Penn State, I believe. We talked about that. I feel like this is now in that category. This is natty or bust for Sarkisian. I don't know what you feel, Austin, but I think these moves that are being made signifies that they're going all in NIL. They're going all in. Not that they haven't been in the past, but they're going really all in, like maybe similar to what Ohio State did 2 years ago, winning the national championship. And yeah, this feels like all in.
No, I mean, it definitely does. For me, it does feel that way. They are definitely all in, and they've added some great additions. But I mean, you are coming off a season you didn't even make the playoffs, so it's hard to say. Go from missing
Well,
the
that's why they're
playoffs
making these
to
moves.
fair enough.
I mean, they're
So,
making these moves to fix that. Now, I will say this, Austin, and Grant, our buddy Grant, is in here from TikTok. We love Grant. But I mentioned this to him on TikTok when we did TikTok Live. To me, I still haven't seen the problem, the one big problem Texas has had the last couple of years that I don't feel like has been fixed yet. Yeah, they got the flashy receiver. They always do. They got the flashy running backs. They always do. But every time I leave a Texas versus Georgia game, I've always left those game going, Texas isn't physical. They're just not physical. They're not tough.
yeah,
They're not physical. They're not this. And like, I still don't think that problem's been fixed. But
yeah,
I don't know, man. They're going all in. But credit them. They are killing it in the portal. Like, they're absolutely killing it.
yeah. They're killing Alabama is what they're doing, but maybe Sarkisian is trying to build up Texas at Bama's downfall so that he can come to Texas. I mean, so that DeBoer gets fired and Sark can come to Bama and be the coach there.
Yeah, man. I'm not. It's way too early. We still have till Friday on the portal. And I don't know if you know, Austin, or you've paid attention. I asked somebody on TikTok this. Has Bama made any major? I know they've made additions in the portal. Have they, other than Hollywood, before he?
I was going to say the one we had. No, I think last I read, we've lost 18 kids to the portal, 3 or 4 to the NFL, and I think we've only picked up like 7.
Wow. And none of them's been.
No, and we've lost some. I mean, can't replace a Caden Proctor. Ty Simpson. I mean, I honestly wonder how much of that had to do with Cam Coleman's decision. Just not knowing who the quarterback's going to be next year and what that situation is going to look like.
That was one of the big things. I know everybody wants to say it's the money. It's the money. Yes, the money played a factor in it.
Absolutely.
I do truly believe Cam Coleman also wanted to look for a situation that was going to have a good quarterback and opportunity to win a national championship. And that could definitely play a factor because he wanted to know, like that's one of the main reasons he's left Auburn. It wasn't a money issue. Auburn offered him $2 million, which is what he was asking for. And Auburn offered that and gave it to him, was going to give it to him. And I think he left Auburn because he was like, I don't know who the quarterback is going to be. Yeah, the UCF kid's coming, but I don't know much about him. Or USF kid is coming, and he wanted to go to a real a place with stability. And and that definitely probably played a factor. Athletes former product, fellas, looking good. Give him credit to our brand new look we have. This beautiful way we're way more professional. He did this for us. I don't even know if I told you.
You didn't tell me that. You tried to take credit for this. I thought you came up with this.
You know better. I'm not.
I should have known, but I should have known better.
You know better. You know better. You know way better because I'm not that smart. No, our boy at Athletes Forum podcast. I messaged him. I got one more I want him to do, but I'm trying not to bug him too much. But
I like the way you did that. Put him on the spot on air.
Put him on the spot on air. Yeah, like he made this for us, and yeah, it's of course Chris wanted the credit. Yeah, of course, duh. I mean, I always want the credit. But Jamal hooked us up, man.
Looks good, man. We appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah.
But I will, just getting back to Texas. If I'm taking, we always say that on this show we're not scared to show who we're a fan of. Everybody knows you're a Georgia fan. I'm a Bama fan, but sometimes we take our fan gear off, and we're going to tell the truth. Call it what it is. And I'm kind of excited to see Arch Manning and Cam Coleman hook up. Like I think it could be great for both of their careers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm hyped. I'm hyped to watch it if I'm taking my Georgia hat off. And
Absolutely.
if I put my Georgia back hat on, I'm crying in the yeah, Rusty Manziel on 3 works for the UGA site, put a tweet out. Very connected guy. Very connected guy. So I believe every word that comes out of his mouth. Texas will have the first $40 million roster. No doubt in my mind, they are real close to that in salary. This is an all-in season for Sark, literally. 40 million. They also got, we didn't even mention this, they got the number 1 linebacker in the portal today from Pitt. Underrated kid that didn't get brought up in our discussion.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're going all in, man. And
that.
that's why I said it to next year on our preseason show. I'm probably going to hit them with a natty or bust. Is anything less is going to be a failure, and I don't like doing that because I fight against that. I fight against that narrative all the time. I was just in TikTok live. Some guy tried to, and I love him to death. He's always in my TikToks. If he's watching now, I love you. We always appreciate you. But me and him had a discussion on him comparing Kirby to Dabo. And I've had discussions with an Ole Miss fan, or I think it was an Ole Miss fan that his season was ruined, and or Georgia's season sucked, and all this stuff. So we always try to fight against those narratives, but there are rare exceptions to the rules. And I think just like James Franklin at Penn State, I think this is one of those times where Texas, you're snatty or bust now, baby. Congrats on the moves, good, but get ready, it's here.
Yeah,
you win it.
You still got to put wins in the win column.
Yep. All right, man. Jamond Williams.
Man.
So, if you've been living under a rock and you don't know what's been going on with that situation, Jamond Williams announced that he was leaving Washington. Washington was like, "No, you're not," because he had just signed a deal, announced it, and everything. And then, basically Washington pretty much said, the gist of it is pretty much said, "No, you're not going. I mean, we're not putting you in the portal. If you leave, you're going to have to, go be a walk-on or whatever, however that would have worked." And they weren't going to grant him a release, and he was going to have to pay a buyout, which is good for Washington. They were also going to sue. Before I get into this wonderful article, first off, this article was written by Chris Hummer at CBS Sports. Phenomenal media guy. He's actually been on our show before. Wonderful guy. You need to go read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, obviously. I'm going to do little snippets from it that I found interesting. But it's titled Hat in the Hand, How Jamond Williams' $6 million gamble collapsed and led him back to Washington. So, in the article, there was this one thing that surprised me at the beginning. The transferring was an option at all was a surprise to his agents at the powerhouse West Base Coast agency, Wasserman Sports. His 2-point persons at Wasserman, including Doug Hendricks, I can't even talk. They were caught off guard by the decision and led them to part ways with Williams. So his agents, dude, they didn't even know what was going on. They dipped. He made an announcement. I don't know if you've seen it. He made an announcement on Twitter that, they dropped him as a client.
Wow.
Because of this. Yeah. And in the hours after Williams expressed his intention to transfer, Williams' father told someone his son had an offer on the table for $6 million. Sources indicate the schools of interest to the family were, are you ready for this? Alabama, LSU, Miami, and Oregon. Look at Alabama. All the people saying Alabama got no money. Yeah.
If we're gonna pay somebody $6 million, I'm not saying Jamond Williams isn't a good quarterback, but I don't know if he's $6 million worth.
No. Have you seen his numbers against the better teams he played?
Right.
Played against? Did you catch that on camera? Because that's going to be clipped.
I didn't see it. I had looked down.
Good, because I just spilled
Did
Mountain Dew all over me. Um,
you?
yeah, so we're gonna fight on. We're gonna push through the adversity of this show today. But yeah, that happened. Also, he made this announcement, and I don't think the kid did it on purpose, but he made the announcement while the Washington team was having a memorial for a soccer player that had died after a battle with kidney cancer. The team
Jesus.
The team was at a memorial for a soccer player that had played at Washington. I'm assuming the team knew her. Fish's wife posted on Instagram how disgusting. Yeah, that was that's a bad look. That's a bad look. I don't think the kid did it on purpose. I think I'll get to what my whole thoughts on this here in a minute. Meanwhile, schools were sorting out if they were even willing to pursue Williams, as one source at a prominent quarterback needy school told CBS Sports, "I'm trying to stay out of all that." Williams' dad apparently indicated to People Wednesday that his son would never play for Washington again, per a source with direct knowledge of the situation. So yeah, man, it absolute mess. And you know, I'm not going on a big rant here, but I do want to say, when we talk about how this new era of college football, how it's done a disservice to these kids, it's not because we don't like them getting paid. It's not because we don't like them being able to have the ability to move like a coach does. It's situations like this that I say is hurting kids. It's the
Yeah.
adult in the room. Because I think Damon's only 19 years old. You know, this isn't a
Right.
senior. You know, if this was a senior, I would be like, hey, man, you need to nut up and tell the grown folks, because you've grown too, to stay out your business and figure this out like a man. He's still a teenager, technically. He's 19.
Yeah.
And it's bad because it's apparently coming from his own family, his dad, his agent. No, not his agent, but a handler that was apparently a part of the Nico thing, got involved in it. And yeah, man, it's just I think, man, this is just one of those things that it's just unfortunate. Kudos though for Washington for pushing back and fighting against it.
Yeah. Here's my problem with that though. Like now, I mean, what now?
Yeah,
What now? Is that
What
kid really gonna bust his ass and play hard for Washington if they block him from, you know, it's just a weird situation. And I know stuff like this happens in the NFL. And you know what? I'm a grown man. I run a business. I work in business. Things happen sometimes that you just got to man up and move on from. Um, but I wouldn't have manned up and moved on from these things when I was 19.
No.
And
19,
and that yeah,
especially the people in my corner will push me towards it. I'd have been gone
yeah,
at 19. Like, the people I love and care about that are supposed to have my best interests are pushing me towards that. Oh,
yeah,
I'd be gone in a heartbeat.
yeah. I don't know. But when you start putting this kind of money on the line, things like this are going to happen.
Yeah. Grant asked, so we still think the portal is worse than NIL? I do. I think the portal is the biggest issue. I think the portal, the ability to move constantly, that brings me up to this. Nate Fraser at UGA is trending towards him staying, but apparently Ohio State tampered with him. And I'm not like saying bad things about Ohio State. Look, if Georgia ain't tampering, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah.
And he was fixing to leave. And this is a kid that loves UGA, but somebody offered him a lot of money. And
Mm.
I don't know. I just think the portal, I don't care about the kids getting paid, man. I really don't. Listen,
Yeah.
I just cannot find myself to care. In America, you have the right to earn money, and I'm fine with it.
To Grant's question there, I mean, the main issue we talk about is the NIL money, but if it wasn't for the portal, we wouldn't even be talking about him having the ability to transfer.
Yeah.
So he'd have got his bag from whatever he signed on at Washington and stick with it.
Yeah. So just unfortunate situation. I am glad he's back at Washington, but I do agree with you. This is awkward.
Yeah. Like
Awkward. I mean, like, his teammates are legit pissed. I mean, that's what's been reported. Like, they're
oh, I'm
legit
sure.
and I don't blame him. And Jed Fish is pissed, and Jed Fish's wife is pissed because of that, doing it during that memorial. Now, I will say Jed Fish acknowledged in the statement that he has to work to gain the trust back, and yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm sure he could, and I'm sure he will. But I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
His dad saying all that to sources and all that. I don't know. This could also turn really toxic next
Yeah.
season.
If Jamal's still watching, Jamal, I know you're always asking about the bets. Um, might be a good time to go drop 100 on Washington leading the country in sacks next year because this O line just gonna let them through.
I would love Jamal's perspective on this from a former player. That's what we need. Jamal, if you're watching, um, which only yeah, I don't think he is, but we need to ask Jamal that and find out what he, because that is interesting. He did play football, so and he played at a high level. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. All right. Miami 31, Ole Miss 27. My finals reactions. Man, Ole Miss fans are gonna be mad at me because I clipped a video of our guy Sean at the Veteran Sports Voice podcast and Ian. They were talking about the game also yesterday on their show, and I clipped something in the video where they talked about Miami. Miami essentially dominated Ole Miss in their opinion, and Ole Miss fans really got upset about that in our comment section on TikTok and YouTube. And I'm sorry, I agree with him. I think Miami dominated this game, and it shouldn't have been close. That doesn't mean Ole Miss sucks. That doesn't mean Ole Miss was a bad football team. I mean, they beat Georgia. They're clearly a good football team, and kudos to them. But when I left that game, Austin, I was like, this shouldn't have been close because like the the stuff that was killing Miami, like their OC got cute at times, doing ridiculous things when the run game was working. I know they had 50 rushes in that game, but it should have been a hell of a lot more, honestly, the way they were gashing him through the run. He just got cute a lot of times. They had a lot of penalties. They had dropped interceptions. Beck and the deep ball. I mean, good Lord, he missed 2 or 3 wide open guys that would have blew this thing wide open. And I don't know, man. I just left that game going, man, this didn't feel close.
Yeah. No, I mean, not trying to jump on the bandwagon, but I agree with you. I think we texted in maybe the first half of that game and was like, God, this game feels like a blowout right now, but it's a one score game. And look, kudos to Ole Miss. I don't think Ole Miss played their best game. Um, and obviously Lacey getting hurt there early, after that 75-yard run. Who knows what effect that had on them.
Mhm.
Um, but kudos to Ole Miss for fighting to stay in the game when you don't have your
Yeah.
A game. Um, and that's, I mean, that's what you got to do, find a way to win. But no, it definitely felt like Miami was the better team. Um, I mean, I was just looking at some of the stats. Even, I mean, Lacey had 103 yards rushing, which doesn't look terrible on paper, but 75 of that came from one run.
Mhm. Yeah.
So you take that away, and it's like, man, we had like less than 30 yards rushing
Mhm.
the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody had mentioned on Twitter that, and he got blasted for it. Uh. Oh, Athletes Forum Pod Bet. I'm here. Heard what you said, Chris. Just let me know what y'all need. Yeah. But I don't mean to jump back to a subject. But I really do. I am curious about Jamal's opinion here. Um, Jamal, how would you, as a former player, react to the Damon Williams situation? That's what we were talking about. The trying to leave Washington, and now he's coming back after, you know, trying to leave. Also doing it during the memorial service of a soccer player at Washington passing away.
if that
How?
was your quarterback,
Yeah, if that was your quarterback, man, like how are you reacting? And you've played around other guys that's played around football or played in football, so I'd be curious to know what you would think a team's reaction would be to that. Do they just? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that works. I will keep talking about Ole Miss and Miami while he types that up, but I'm very curious about Jamal's opinion on that. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like Ole Miss had a phenomenal season. And Miami, man, they got to clean some things up because we'll get to it in a minute. They're fixing to face a wagon, and they need to clean up that offensive stuff.
yeah. I mean, I guess I hadn't watched enough Miami to know if that's been an every like all year kind of thing, like that's who they are, or if some of that was just. I mean, even the penalties. I mean, they had 10 penalties. That's
Yeah, not the
not
penalties that haven't
typical.
been normal.
Yeah,
Yeah, that hasn't been normal. The offensive though, like I've looked at the stat profile. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I looked at the stat profile. They're actually, for as much love they're getting, and they should, they beat Texas A&M, Ohio State, and Ole Miss, 3 great wins. But
absolutely.
that was on the backbone of their defense because statistically, in the 12-team playoff field, they've had the worst offense in the playoff field statistically.
Yeah.
It has not been good.
Yeah. I'll tell you what surprised me with this game, man, and you know me, I always talk smack about the media because we love to overreact after one game, whether it be good or bad about a team. You could
Boy,
have
do
a
we love
team
that.
be you could have them number one in the country all season long, and they lose to number two in the country, and now all of a sudden that number one team they suck. But
Mhm.
that's just how the media is. And after that Ohio State game, I was like, man, this defensive line of Miami can't be stopped. Like, it's the best in the country. And I mean, if you go back and look at our text thread that night, how many times did we talk about Ruben Bain? But in this Ole Miss game, I don't know if I heard his name mentioned.
Yeah.
And that was a I knew Ole Miss had the offensive style to slow down that D line, but I didn't know they would be as quiet as they were.
Mhm.
So again, and we'll talk about it more in a minute, but I don't think anybody can help but think ahead at this time when there's only one game left. Um, it just feels like everything positive we've said about Miami and everything negative that they could fix, they've
Yeah.
got to get all of that right to even have a chance
Yeah.
come next Monday.
Yeah. Jamal said on the Damon Williams thing, I'd feel some type of way, a little trust loss. Not so much he left, but for him coming back, it's weird. But it would depend on my relationship with him. Now, Jamal, if I remember right, he played defense. Jamal, are you gonna bust his ass during scrimmages? Even though he has the, even though he has the what color they wear, whatever color the quarterbacks wear. I would assume Jamal would be busting his ass though at scrimmages. I
Yeah.
can't remember what position Jamal played, but I know it was defense. I know it was defense. I can't remember what he played though. Yeah, but I bet Jamal. I bet, and that's why I like asking former players those questions because we love to think like one of the funny things about college football fans is like we hear yeah, red shirt means going forward. Okay, he played DB. Oh, even better. Even better. I thought he played linebacker for some reason, but DB, yeah. Even better. Highlights on YouTube, both college and overseas. That's right. He did. Did you know that about Jamal? He played
No,
overseas football.
I know he played in college.
Yeah, he played in London, I think, or over. Yeah, you got to check out some of that stuff on YouTube. Me and Sean has. It's good. It's good. But yeah, he's is really cool. But I like asking players' perspectives because like it's funny with fans. Like I see it all the time. Like when a kid transfers from Georgia to Florida, like we as fans can't like
Yeah.
process that. Like how dare you? You traitor. How could you do? Players just don't care. They don't have that. They don't have that mindset of Georgia, Florida, and that's why I was curious. It didn't feel like it felt like athletes forum podcast. Jamal was like, yeah, I mean, I would feel some type of way, but it didn't
But it
feel like
didn't. Yeah.
I would feel like you and me would think they would feel like oh yeah, f that dude. Like he kind of
Yeah.
had a like, yeah, I'd feel some type of way, little trust loss, depends on the relationship. Um, be a little weird him coming back, but it didn't seem like it would be like pure. Like me as a fan, I'm thinking like these dudes are gonna hate this guy.
Yeah.
So that's why I love having Jamal on our team and Pops as a former coach. So we can get all kinds of different perspectives. All right, Indiana 56, Oregon 22. Brother, this was over as soon as the pick six happened. Actually, I want to correct myself. It was not over before the pick six. It was over before they got off the bus. Before we go any further, Jamal said, I don't blame somebody transferring to a better situation, but that it sounds like that was a money grab, which will make me feel some type of way. Yeah,
Fair enough.
fair enough. Brother, that was over before the bus. And it was funny in our group chat. As soon as that pick six happened, just a bunch of texts. Ball game,
Ball
over.
game, ball game.
Ball game, ball game, ball game, ball game. And then Oregon went on that drive. But even on that drive, impressive, very impressive. But I think I texted, or I may have texted to you privately. It still felt like I was like, man, it feels like Oregon's having to it's taking everything they have to get this drive going all the way to touchdown. And then Indiana gets the ball back, and it was just so effortless. Like it was just a boom, 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 boom score. And I mean, Oregon's 3 first half turnovers led to 21 points for Indiana, and you just cannot do that against this team. We talked about it. This Indiana team reminds us of those Nick Saban teams back in the day. You make a mistake and you're screwed. You got to play. This is the part that makes them remind me of Alabama, Saban older days. When you played Alabama with Nick Saban, you had to play perfect football. Yeah. You had to have them make the mistakes. You had to have them cough up the ball. And the same thing with Indiana. You cannot. People go, oh, well, if you take those 3 turnovers, well, that's your fault. Like Indiana, you can't do that against Indiana. You do that against Indiana, it's over.
Let me say this, because I've been thinking a lot about this, and look, I said this in the Bama game, like, oh, we threw the pick, had the fumble. Yes, where we want to say as fans, that's your fault. You can't do that against Indiana. That's what good teams do to you, though. They make you play so tight and so perfect that you almost try to get too cute and you forget to do the little things. And that's when the fumbles happen and the stupid pick six. I mean, to start the game, like it's because that's characteristic for Oregon, and that's why, because of the way Indiana plays, you have to be so perfect that I think that's what causes some of those uncharacteristic turnovers.
Yeah, that was great. But I literally just wrote down, clip that, Austin. That was a great point. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I mean, man, they just, God, Mendoza. Oh, Pops text me. I had to ask Pops. Pops said this on his show. Let me pull it up. Let's see, where is it at? Oh my goodness, this is horrible for the show. Yeah, Mendoza had more touchdowns than incompletions.
He's had more touchdowns than incompletions in the last 2 games.
Oh my God, I didn't know that.
I read that somewhere yesterday, and I went and checked, and it was right. I don't remember the number.
Yeah,
but man, Indiana, it's hard to talk about.
It's hard. It's hard, dude. It is so hard. This is mind blowing.
Mendoza only threw the ball 20 times.
Yeah.
He only threw for 177 yards.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they are so efficient.
Yeah.
Efficiency is the word to describe their offense. Like, there's just no wasted movement. Mendoza puts the ball where, they run the ball well. Mendoza puts the ball where only they can catch it, and their receivers and tight ends do a great job of catching the football.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think if you watch some of those catches that can look routine, but there's a lot. I mean, just how they catch the ball, and Pops will probably talk more about this than I can, but you can just tell they catch it at that high point, where nobody else can get it. But they're just efficient, man.
Yeah, they're efficient. They're aggressive on defense. They swarm to the ball. They're effing wagon. Like I don't know other way to explain it. And my SEC mind / recruiting matters mind can't comprehend this. And I want to say I'm not going to overreact like most people are doing. I still lean towards recruiting matters. I still lean having highly ranked classes matter. I'm not going to let one example that may end up being the rare exception to the rule sway what I've known in college football forever. Now, when we get more data and we see how this keeps going and progressing, then I will certainly be open to changing my mind. Um, and I don't know. But my brain can't comprehend. I mean, look, they should be dominant. They're all 30-year-olds. They're damn professionals. I don't think that's true. That's a Twitter thing that's been going on now, that apparently all these guys are like the BYU players, went on 2-year missions or something and have wives and children. I mean, yeah, they're experienced college football players, but
Yeah.
you know, this is not 1 + 1 = 2, Chris. Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. They are they're fun to watch.
they are. They are, to me, they are like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know if people know what I mean when I say it. They're football.
Right.
Like, this is just football. Like, this is
I
football.
this is this is hard to say without sounding, but it's not, because we've said it all season. There wasn't a team outside of Indiana who emerged as that, but there was not a team this year that just felt dominant.
Yeah.
And I wish we had one more team to go up against this Indiana team
Yeah.
that was at their level. There's nobody else in the country that's on their level. Now,
Mm-mm.
look, there's a reason we play the game, so I'm not saying Miami doesn't have a shot next Monday.
They have no shot.
I mean, I'm not saying it, but
He's an Ole Miss fan.
yeah. Look, the way Indiana's playing right now, they beat there's not a team in the country. They remind me, I don't, if anybody's our age, remember back in wrestling, remember when Bill Goldberg came out as a
Yeah.
wrestler and he wins like 150 straight matches, and his slogan comes, "Who's next?" Like,
Yes.
and they were just beat downs. That would be Indiana this year. It wouldn't matter if all 130 something teams were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't think Indiana loses a game.
No. No. This is our guy Snacks like really hard disagree with me, and I get it. LSU fans do not like this conversation, and I understand why. But I do think you could talk about comparing them to 2019 LSU.
Well, here's where I'm gonna play. Yeah, here's the difference though. All of those teams, or the first three in that list, had some dogs. Like, you want to talk about talent? This Indiana team, it's hard to judge it because, look, Mendoza's played great, but as I said, the dude had 177 yards passing in a game that everybody's just wowed at how he played. They are just efficient as a
Yeah.
football team. You want to talk about team? I think Indiana's the best team out of all of those. Now, do I think their offense is better than that 2019 offense? No. Do I think their defense as a whole is better than that 21 uh, Georgia defense? No. But I think as a team, they may be the best one there.
I'm trying to pull it up. Somebody did and I wasn't fast enough before you got finished talking. So I was not able to pull it up. But I thought I seen a mock draft on ESPN, and I don't think I remember seeing at least first round, because they only do first round mock drafts this early on. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't think I remember seeing many Indiana players in the first round other than Mendoza.
Can you name another Indiana player without looking it up besides Mendoza?
I can't. I have a football card because you know I collect football cards.
Mm-hmm.
I have one of an Indiana running back, and I can't even remember his damn name. And he's
Yeah.
on the team. Yeah.
Same like that, and that's what I mean.
Yeah. I just Snacks is upset with you right now. I get it. Look, LSU fans they don't like, and I get it. Look, but Jamal asked me. I jumped on their show last night, or Jamal and me both were a guest on a show last night, and I jumped on halfway through, and Jamal asked a great question to me about the comparison to 2025 Indiana, and I believe it was a 21 UGA team. And I ain't gonna lie, I didn't like the question because it was a great question, but I didn't want to answer that because I don't want to think about that. I'm like, there's nobody that's gonna surpass 2021 UGA in my head. I'm a UGA fan. I mean, that whole defense played on is basically the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm watching the Eagles right now,
I
and
was
it's all
gonna say,
Georgia players. Yeah, I
they
mean,
just get. Is that why they just gave up a late touchdown in the fourth quarter?
I mean, yeah, fair. But yeah,
49ers
I
didn't put.
get.
Oh,
I'll go ahead.
I was gonna say 49ers didn't put in a backup quarterback, did they?
No,
Because
and
that's
it's
how you
not
beat.
second
That's
and
how you beat. That's
26.
how you. That's how you beat that defense.
Oh Lord. Yeah, but like when he asked me, so I get it, LSU fans. I mean, they're not, they don't. And I honestly, I don't know who I think. I do think Indiana. There's a discussion to be had. And I think everything you said was great, and I agreed with. I think this team's a damn wagon, man. Our guy Joseph, go to hell, LSU. I love Ole Miss fans. We're not even talking like this. Dude, God, I cannot wait for that damn game.
I can't.
You
I'm
hear
telling
me?
you, we are going to Oxford.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait because I'll be on TikTok live and we won't even be discussing neither one of those teams and just have drive-by comments like F LSU, F Ole Miss, and I'm like, Jesus, guys,
Yeah,
calm down.
it's gonna be
It's
great.
like the Crips and the Bloods right now. Like they're just like God.
Speaking of that, thoughts
Wait,
on
speaking of Crips and Bloods,
no. Speaking of Ole Miss, while we're there, and I mean we're kind of just
yeah,
talking for a second. Do you see Deuce Knight went to Ole Miss
Deuce Knight. Yeah, I did.
from
Great
Auburn?
pickup.
Yeah, I
I think
think
that's a
that
great
was.
pickup.
I mean, I'm assuming they're just preparing because it sounds
Yeah.
like they may not have Chambliss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
No, I
I
thought
don't
it was a
know.
great pickup. I think
Yeah.
we talked about it on TikTok Live. Somebody asked me the question, who was my favorite SEC transfer portal class? And I said, if I can't pick Texas, because I think that would be the obvious, I would go Ole Miss. Actually, Ole Miss is the top ranked SEC team in the transfer portal rankings, I believe. But yeah, they've absolutely killed it. They have
Yeah.
in the portal, and I love the Deuce Knight. I mean, portal edition because I'm super high on him. Just to spin it back to the Oregon thing. I did want to ask you this. Oh, actually, let me ask you this because I asked Pops this, and I gave an opinion first, so I'm not going to say much on this because I've already clipped it and put it on Twitter, and it's like it's blown up, 1,000 views, freaking 28 comments, 40 likes. So hey, we're in the business of generating content, and generating content. So hey, that video did wonders for us, and let's do it again. So let's get Austin's opinion. Kurt Signetti. We're gonna do our coaches ranking here in a couple of weeks, month maybe. Is he the best coach in college football? Is he better than Kirby, or is he number one over Kirby Smart? I wouldn't say better, but is he the number one ranked head coach right now, or after he wins Natty?
I think he may be it before he wins the Natty.
I agree.
And let me tell you why. You know, I've told this story before, and if you've read any books by Nick Saban or about Nick Saban, you know this. But you know, when Nick Saban got hired at Alabama, he was on the plane flying to Tuscaloosa from Miami with our I just went blank. With our athletic director.
Yeah,
Sorry,
athletic director.
with I kept trying to say OC with our AD, and our AD says to Nick Saban, he says, "Coach, did I just hire the best coach in the country?" And he said, "No, but you just hired the best recruiter in the country." Um, and I say that to say that that is the same model that Kirby Smart has followed, and I think Kirby Smart's a hell of a recruiter. Now, he's a great coach. Nick Saban was a great coach, but when you're coaching five stars all day, it's easier to be a great coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
What Signetti has done with the
Unprecedented.
talent that he has, he's dominating these same coaches
Mm-hmm. Yep.
that are coaching with the five stars.
Could have said the same thing about Dan Lannon.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely. No, absolutely. I mean,
I mean,
once, and it will happen. Dan Lanning will win a national championship.
oh yeah, I agree.
Um, once that happens, he gets in this. He's still mad.
He's still mad. I love it
Um,
though.
yeah, I love it. I love the energy. But no, Dan Lanning will be in this conversation.
Yeah.
I hate that we've talked about this before, base a national championship off of what makes you a great coach.
Oh my
But
God. Oh,
unfortunately, that sometimes that's it, right? But
it is. I had that
no,
argument on TikTok today, and I don't feel like getting into it now. But yeah, it's so stupid. It's so stupid.
yeah,
The Oregon fans
um,
are people are pissed at Dan Lanning right now. Now I will say this, Austin.
I'm sure.
I'm probably gonna peg Dan Lanning down a couple of notches on our list, not because I think he sucks or because I don't think he's ever gonna win. But listen, you've now gotten booty blasted twice in the playoffs. I mean, you've gotten belt to ass twice. This isn't, if
Yeah.
you lost by 3 by a touchdown, you're getting your ass kicked 2 years in a row. You're gonna get knocked down a peg.
To be fair, the team they lost to both years went on historic type runs and whooped everybody's ass they played in the playoffs. So,
Yeah.
might be something to consider. But no, I'm with you. Two years in a row, that makes it a pattern.
Or not after what he has done. Where is Mario 6 to 10? We luckily, we did not have very many engagement or fans watching our show back when we did our first show. I'm kind of
Yeah,
scared to do it this year, particularly how our TikTok has blown up and how our
yeah.
YouTube shorts are going. I'm really scared to do it. Um, and I'm glad it wasn't. We didn't have much of this because we didn't put Mario in our top 25, and we thought we were going to get a lot of hate, but we didn't because not many people watched other than our wives. But yeah, I think Mario is going to be back in my top 15.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. But just back to the Signetti thing. Um, right now, I mean, I just think he sits with what he's done at Indiana, and it's like I've said before. Um, it wasn't like it isn't like he's just having a lucky year. He did this last year, and we were like, oh, I kind of thought that was his lucky year.
Mm-hmm.
They lose a lot of guys. He goes in the portal, refills up, and puts together a better team than he had last year.
Yeah.
So yeah, what, and I don't want to talk about this because this is strictly hypothetical, and I'm going to get tired of hearing it, and we're all going to get tired of hearing it over the next probably, I don't know, however long he stays as good as he is, and his name stays as hot. But is he going to stay at Indiana?
For people that didn't get that, for some reason you lost service there for a minute, but I heard you. You're back now.
Yeah, something happened. Okay,
Yeah, but for people that
okay.
didn't hear that, he asked.
I was just,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just saying, is he going to stay in Indiana? Because his name's going to come up in every job opening from now until the end of time.
Oh, I've already gotten it. Bama fan. I don't know if you've realized, Bama fans are now they're wanting to bring Sig home, even though he's from
Oh
Pennsylvania.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean they want
yeah.
to bring him home, and
I'm aware.
I don't think he's leaving because I mean he's already, God almighty, he's like 80 years old. I'm joking, but I mean he's
He's
60
not that
years
old,
old.
but
I mean he's
I feel
64,
like
right? I mean,
his pride.
yeah,
He wants to win at Indiana.
yeah.
I don't
He
think
had an
he cares
opportunity this
about.
year. Yeah.
I don't think he cares about going to an Alabama and winning a national championship. You know,
Yeah, and I agree with him. Why does he need to leave? He's winning. I mean, he's fixing to win the national
yeah,
championship, in my opinion. And also, little did I don't think people realize this. So he signs that extension, right? If he wins the
right.
national championship, he's due for another raise because in the
Wow.
contract it states if you win a national championship, your pay goes up.
Yeah.
I don't think Indiana imagined that was going to happen this year. But yeah, look, I mean. And I kind of agree with this, man. Winning at Indiana is different than winning at Alabama. I think as me,
Absolutely.
like, if I'm winning at Indiana, dude, he's gonna go down. He may go down like Nick Saban, the greatest coach of all time.
Did you know that Indiana up until year before last, was the most losing
Yeah.
football team in the FCS.
Yes. Yes. That's what I've been trying. Like, oh my God, dude, it has wrecked my brain, and like I think it's wrecked college football fans' brains even more because I was saying in the playoffs when people were coming at me in TikTok, like most of the comments that I'm getting now on TikTok is, "Wow, I mean Indiana really is good." Yeah, they have been all year, and I've been trying to tell y'all that. And like I'm
Yeah.
just now getting comments on TikTok where people are going, "Damn." We've got people on Twitter with a massive following. This doofus on Twitter that's a Florida beat writer or a Florida writer making this long 10-page thread of an elaborate thread that he's made where he's convinced Indiana. That's how good they are. Like that, they're
Yeah.
stealing plays and stuff. Like that's how good
Jesus.
they are. And Indiana has completely everything we've believed about college football and how you win. I mean, it's wrecked my brain. It's wrecked my brain because everything we've ever believed in is now thrown out of the window with Kurt Zanetti. And I agree with Jamal. He said this on his show. Y'all should check it out. I think it's every Wednesday. Jamal, correct me if I'm wrong, but every Wednesday he had a show. I think it was after the Oregon. No, it was after. Yeah, it was after the Oregon game because he had a Kentucky guy on, and he said it pretty bluntly. He says Sig is going to fuck this up for other coaches because I guarantee you, there's an Arkansas fan sitting right now in Fayetteville going, why the hell can't we do that? And
Absolutely.
there's a fan, UCLA fans, that I would say that's probably the second worst program. I don't know, but like they've been bad for forever. I bet UCLA fans are sitting in LA going, why not us? Like, why
Yeah.
can't we? Now, I don't know. Maybe
No.
that proves, maybe Signetti has proven if you hire that kind of dude, you can do it. Or is Signetti just one of one?
Yeah. No, I agree. I'll comment on what Jamal said, just as the resident Bama fan. Um, I'm with you, man. Bama fans have got to get they've got to get their mind right around what normal football looks like. We went, what, I don't know what the final win total was, 11, and let's call it 11-3, 10-3 this season. Um, Went to the quarterfinals of the playoffs, made it to the SEC championship. That's a good season.
Very good.
That's a good season. Um, and you've heard nothing now. The stuff that's happening in the portal, it's changed my mind a little bit. But you
Different
know,
conversation.
different conversation. And look, as long as it turns into wins on the field next season, I don't care
Yeah.
what the portal looks like. But uh, you shouldn't be in the quarter. Anybody in the playoffs, your coach shouldn't be on a hot seat. And I'm not saying DeBoer is with Alabama, but with the fan base, he's
Yeah.
on fire.
I've said it multiple times.
And that's not fair.
No, I've said it multiple times. I'm not going to rehash this same thing that I've talked about, but Nick Saban's done a lot of good things for college football. I also think he's done some of the worst crap for college football fans, and it's unfortunate. It's also I don't think that's the only thing that's attributed to this. I also think like the playoff era, we're now a playoff sport. We're not. I
Hmm.
remember 2007 when UGA went to the Sugar Bowl, and we were absolutely thrilled to be
Dude,
at the
you're
Sugar.
buying T-shirts.
Yeah,
There
I
was
bought a t-shirt.
T-shirts.
I remember. I bought a t-shirt.
I remember the shirt. You can't spell sugar without
Yeah,
UGA. I
I
remember the
had
shirt
that.
like
Oh,
it
I
was
had that.
yesterday.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
had that shirt. Boy, if you were wearing a Sugar Bowl shirt right now, you will be laughed at. Like
absolutely.
a successful season now, in most fans' eyes, or it's national championship or bust, and that's so stupid. It's dumb. I'm always going to fight against it. I'm going to push against it. I'm not going to call you dumb, but I'm going to say your thinking is dumb. It's
Yeah,
just stupid.
and I the playoffs may change that. I don't know
Yeah.
how long it'll take, but I said a couple weeks ago that with the playoffs, you're not when you're playing that many games in a row, to even if it's just two or three. I mean, look at the NFL. I mean, outside of the Patriots and the Chiefs,
Mm-hmm.
very rarely does the same team win the Super Bowl year in and year out.
You have
And
dynasties every couple of like
every now and then,
decade or
right?
so.
That,
Yeah.
that they pop in every now and then. I'm not saying that.
No. But it's rare. It's very rare.
But right, you're trying to get the Cowboys a plug, but that was like in the '90s, man. That's gone.
Go
Um,
Cowboys.
but anyhow, you're gonna see that now in college football. So I'm hoping that it changes what Nick Saban did to the mindset of fans that it's national championship or bust, because it's just get to the playoffs. I mean, look at the NFL. I mean, that teams just celebrate getting to the playoffs because they know, how hard it is just to get there.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it'll change the mindset eventually, but it's going to take some time. Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Go Cowboys, baby. Yeah, Joseph's one of my favorites now. No, I agree with everything you said, man. I just think, I don't know. No, I don't think we're ever going to change people's mind. It's probably a lost battle. I'm going to continue to fight it. I mean, I had somebody come on my TikTok live, and we'll end on this because we're almost about out of the hour. I had somebody on my TikTok live come at me and go, shit. Kind of came at me and was like, I mean, must suck to be a Georgia fan. It's like, no, my team won 12 out of 14 games. We won an SEC championship and we went to the playoffs. No, like my season was, I had a great, my fandom was great. I loved it. I loved every minute of this season. Got to see him whip Texas in a beatdown. I got to see him in 2 thrillers against Ole Miss and Tennessee, beat our rival Florida and Auburn. No, I had a
He
great
won
season.
an SEC championship.
It won an SEC championship. Like, that's what you mean. Like, why am I mad? I ain't mad. No, I'm not one of those. Was I mad when they lost to Ole Miss? Sure. For like probably a day or two, and then it was just like whatever. I mean, great season. It was fun. Let's try again next year.
Yeah, I
Jamal
mean,
brought
lost.
up. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, Jamal brought also just here deadlines to expand the playoffs is the end of January. If it's expanded at 16 from a source of a source of a source. Yep, that is the rumors. It seems like they're very motivated to get to 16, which I will say, I think if you watch the show, I hate expansion. I want to go back to the BCS. You know what? The hell with that. I want to go back pre-BCS. But that's never happening. I've not been a fan of expanding past 12. I think 12 is perfect. I think it's great. But yeah, 16 kind of would have been fun this year. So, you had my how bad my heart twisted when the Cowboys drafted Dak. Yeah. And Jamal says you didn't have to mention beating Florida, Chris. That's not nice. I've never been accused of being a nice person. So,
Especially when it comes to Florida. Look, me and Chris
I
have
do
been
love Jamal.
friends.
I love Jamal.
Absolutely. But me and Chris have been friends for 20 years, and we both know that we can say things we shouldn't say sometimes, and we're the friends that can tell each other, um, when, hey, you probably shouldn't have said that. And I'm pretty sure the only time I've ever had to get on to Chris is when he's talking about Florida fans.
Yeah, I've said some things in the past that I hope never gets
Yeah.
me. I don't have account no more. So
It probably got banned. It probably got banned.
I don't want to get canceled. I've grown up and matured some. I do still talk my shit. You won't stop me from that. But I don't
know.
I used to say about the Gators.
Hey, we got 1 minute left. Let's quick look ahead. Indiana 7.5 over Miami.
I mean,
does Miami have a chance?
You're gonna get mad at me because I did this for Pops and them last night. I usually reserve it to our show, but no, I mean it's belt to ass, baby. No, I don't think Miami has a chance. Not with the way that offense is playing.
Yeah, I don't either. I think the only chance they have is if Indiana just has an off night. And like I said earlier in the show, everything we talked negatively about Miami, they get right perfectly. And I mean, that's the only way it happens, right?
Now, I am fascinated by that Miami defensive line versus Indiana.
I am too. Because I think Mendoza can be got after. But
nobody's just been able to, but I think he can. I think there is a weakness of Indiana that hasn't been exposed yet. And I do think Miami has a D line to do it. I just don't think Miami has the
I
offense to
don't.
expose Indiana's defense.
Yeah, I agree.
We do it every time. I don't know how. I honestly thought 25 minutes in we were going to make it only to 30, and we somehow made it an hour. Jesus. And it feels like we could go another 30 minutes because I still have a lot of stuff on my mind.
Yeah.
Man, this is great. Our new digs. I hope y'all like the new layout we have now. This is awesome. Credit to Jamal at Athletes Forum Podcast, who did a phenomenal job setting this up for us. The guy's a wizard at edits, at stream. He's just a wizard, man. Dude is super smart. Smarter than I'll ever be in life. So credit to him for getting us this, man. It looks beautiful. If you look right under me, man, at College Crew on Twitter, at College Sports Crew on YouTube. So Twitter at College Crew. Go hit the sub or go hit the follow button. At College Sports Crew on YouTube. We are at 86 subs. We've had 17 subs in the month of January, and it's only been 11 days. I would love before January ends to get us to 100. That I really want that to happen so bad. TikTok. I'm so glad Jamal put that on there. That's freaking massive. I didn't do it on our last one, but at College Sports Crew on TikTok. That's where you can go and watch a lot of bonus content. We do lives on there that don't go on YouTube. We put all our clips on there. You'll see me live. You'll see Pops live. We go live a couple times a week. We interact. We do Q&As. So yeah, we appreciate everybody. One last thing before we leave, I want to do a call to action. I'm going to clip this and also put it on TikTok. Our guy Adam at some point is going to do the weekly walk on, a mailbag episode on YouTube. We would really appreciate it if you guys on TikTok would drop a comment under the TikTok clip and hit him with all your questions so we can do a mailbag. Let's fill that mailbag up so he can have a full episode. And I'll get on TikTok and also talk about it too. So much love, everybody. I hope y'all have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday for We Talk Ball. This is me and Austin. Peace.
See ya.